Alright YouTube, what's going on? So we're just going to do a quick video right now, just kind of an update video. Sorry about that. Try and drink my tea before it gets cold. I always drink a cup of hot lemon ginger tea before I go to bed. It's almost 11 o'clock right now. Probably won't be doing any running videos for a few days. I'm doing a job right now that I'm taking to Waco, Texas on Wednesday. Or Tuesday, yeah, on Thursday. So Thursday's going to be a really busy day. Tomorrow we're just going to finish loading it up. We packed it and loaded it over the past couple of days. So I may get off early enough to run something tomorrow, but no guarantees. We'll see. So let me let you guys know what's going on. Got the LRP out of the hyper. Got it hyper all cleaned up. Got the VZB OS 21 back in here so we can continue breaking her in. I did redo the clutch on the VZB. Went ahead and put brand new 3-shoe max life on there. On the hyper you can only run the Hobao flywheel. I mean, you can run a 4-shoe clutch, but you have to really push down for it to engage on the starter wheel. So I just don't do that. I'll go ahead and just use the bigger, I think it's 36 millimeter flywheel. It catches perfect. It's just higher because you have this plate on here. So if there was a way I could get that plate off of there and use a 4-shoe, I would. But I don't have a problem using these 3-shoe clutches. The Max Life shoes with 1.0 springs works pretty well. So, and then I think after I finish breaking in that, we may run the Adam Drake OS Speed .21. This one is very well broken. It's got 2 gallons in it. So I want to run that one again here pretty soon as well. Probably will be one of my race engines between the VZB and the Adam Drake. These two are going to be the ones when I go out on the track that I start practicing with for sure. Speaking of going out to the track, I've been looking at some clutches here. Just some low-C clutches, and trying to see the differences in the clutches that I have. So what I found out is this one is aluminum. This one is aluminum. I don't know why they're different colors, unless they're different sizes, but I'm not too sure. And this one is steel. So in a bashing situation, steel is probably the better flywheel to go with, just because a lightened aluminum one, it's going to spool up, it's going to engage a lot quicker, and that's great in a track setting, but in a bash setting it's, you know, it's okay to use a steel one. You're really not going to see that much difference between them, but I know a lot of racers like to use the lightened aluminum flywheels. Gets them off the line quicker, and off the corners quicker and stuff like that. So in a bashing world, it really doesn't matter. This one has been used for sure, but I'm going to clean it up. The one that I have on the Novarossi right here is a lightened flywheel as well. So I'm not sure what the Techno one is. Where is that Techno one? Where the hell is it? I think it's right here. Let's see. I hate pulling these down because all this stuff falls down. No, that's another. Where is it? No, I think this is another low-C. No, that's it. This is the Techno flywheel. I have another low-C one as well. So the Techno flywheel is a steel flywheel as well. So I could use this one as well. I took it off when I swapped the engine. When I put the Nova Rossi on here, it had the light and flywheel on it. It was in the 8T. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna put a steel. I'll probably use this Techno one because it's newer. I'm gonna go ahead and put a steel flywheel on here and get this clutch rebuilt. I ordered 2 sets of the Dynamite 4-shoe aluminum, the Max Life shoes. I ordered 2 sets of those, 22 bucks each. So we'll redo 2 clutches. One will be a lightened flywheel. Probably end up using this one right here. But and then one will probably be this Techno flywheel, the steel one, to put here in the 8T. So alright guys, so other than that, I wanted to, the Flysky receiver the other day here in the Hyper, it was going through a thermal shutdown, and we don't want that to happen. And the reason that's happening is because the proximity of the receiver box to the engine, it gets really hot in this area. It takes it a while to heat up and go into a shutdown. I mean, like really towards the end of my runs, once the vehicle is extremely heat saturated. But it will shut down, and you will have a runaway if you don't have a glitch buster on there. Thank God I had the glitch buster on there. But what I want to do is I want to try it on one of these other 2 platforms before I just disregard it altogether. Now the Techno receiver box is right here. It's a little bit farther away from the engine. I know people that run these Technos and have run this receiver and not had any problems, so it should be okay. But I've already got this one set up on the DX4C, the Spectrum, so we'll leave that alone for now. What I'm probably going to do is go ahead and run it here in the 8T because of the proximity is a lot farther away in the 8T than it is in any of the other platforms. So I think we'll give her another shot, and I think it'll be alright here in the 8T. But my ultimate goal is, more than likely over the next month or 2, I'm going to upgrade my radio system. I'm probably going to go with a Futaba. I'm not sure which one I'm going to go with, but we will we'll research that. We'll figure that out. I don't think it's going to be the one like John Bodegel has, the $750 one. I don't see any need for me to have something like that. Plus, they're really expensive, man. So, probably the 4 p.m. was a pretty recent, I think, was a pretty recent radio. It didn't come out that long ago. And then you have the 4 PV, I think, and the 3 PV. Now, my hobby shop has a 3 PV right now for like 120 bucks, but I think I want a little bit more than that. So, maybe the 4 p.m. I'll look at, and I think it's called the 4 p.m. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to go Futaba. But I've always had Spectrum. I've had tons and tons of Spectrum receivers. I've never had any issues at all with my Spectrum radio. Heck, I might look at one of the 5C Spectrum radios. They're pretty nice as well. But the only reason I like this Flysky is because of the, you know, the screen on it and all that. It does a lot. Now, a lot of the functions on here I really don't need. You know, like they have speed on there, and you have all these sensors for thermal sensors and speed sensors and voltage regulators, all that kind of stuff. If anything, the only one that I might want to run would be the temperature and the voltage. I don't have any of them in right now. I just didn't want to do it. The heat sensor, you got to get it around the. It's got a little spring that you get around the head of the the engine, and it's just too much for me to mess with. I don't need all that. I don't really check my temps that much, if any, when I'm out in the field running anyway. The only time I check my temps is when I'm breaking an engine in. Which, by the way, people, I still have plans on sending my Rex Legend over to RB Mods. As y'all know, I just had to put it on the back burner when I started having all these servo problems. So I got the cost of these servos out of the way. They're $100 a piece, and over the past 4 weeks I've bought 4 of them. So the modded Rex Legend had to wait, but it will happen eventually. So alright guys, I think that's going to be about it. Just let y'all know what's going on. Getting some clutches set up, and going to get the 8T back together with the new 3.0 and 4.0 diffs. Hopefully I won't have any more diff issues. That last run that I did on it, you could hear the diffs crunching. You could hear them slipping and stuff. I kept running it though. I kept hitting the jump because I knew they were going out, so I wasn't too worried about it. But we'll get her all together, and we'll run this LRP in the 8T, and we'll get the Techno out and run the Nova Rossi as well. And the Hyper. Something else I did, guys, is something else I did when I got off of work today is I went ahead and cleaned and polished up a couple of my pipes. These are both 9886s. One's a super strong, and one is just a regular 9886. And the way you can tell that is, for one, it's not as beefy like the Stinger and everything. You can just tell that this is a beefier pipe right here. But this one will say 9886, and it actually, the Stinger, it bent right here. It pushed in on the pipe, and I fixed it the best that I could. But I mean, I hadn't even had it like a week or so running it. A little dent here as well. So if you guys are going to get the 9886s and your bashers, go ahead and get the super strong. You're going to be a lot happier with it. It's not going to breathe as well as the regular 9886, but it's going to be a lot more durable. Plus it keeps it shine a lot better. I mean, these I only bought like a week or two apart, and you can tell the difference in the shine. And it's not that I didn't polish one more than the other. I polished them both the same amount. They look a lot better. But if you guys know, the only thing that I have a hard time is getting some of this burned oil off of it. If you guys know of any type of oil or chemical or cleaner that works really well to get that burned oil off, hit me up. Let me know in the comments, because I have a hard time getting that stuff off. I scrub and scrub, and I use alcohol and a little bit of penetrating oil. You know, whatever I can figure, whatever I can think of that'll take that stuff out. And I get it off for the most part, but there's still some residual on there. I'd like something that you could really get it off easy with. But alright guys, other than that, that's going to be about it. We'll get these clutches taken care of, get the AT put back together, but more than likely the next truck to run is going to be the Techno with the Nova Rossi 28.8. So, or it might be this one, I'm not sure. But anyway guys, I just wanted to give y'all a little update, see what y'all thought about this Flysky situation that's going on. You know, should I give the receiver another chance in a different platform, or should I just disregard it altogether? I hate taking $140, $150 and just throwing it in the trash. And I think it'll be okay over there in the 8T, because that receiver box is a long ways off. Also on this LRP, we got time. Also on this LRP, the last time I ran it, and I was talking to Family Fare about this, I think my tune is really good, really strong. The only thing is that there is that little bit of after running when you let off of the throttle. So what I was told, and I agree, is that my low end needle needs to be richened up just a little bit. Not much, just a little bit. So once we get this back together and we get out in the field, we'll get it heat saturated and see if we can accomplish that goal. I won't mess with the high at all, but I think we'll bring that low down just a little bit. That should drop my idle a little bit as well, and we'll go from there. So, and we'll get this Mugen situated eventually. I already did the rear shocks. I'm waiting on the center diff. Center diff complete for this thing with everything, including the spur gear. 60 bucks. Wasn't cheap. But I'm working on get these front shocks redone and oiled and all that. If you guys, I'd like to upgrade these shocks. If you guys know what shocks are good on this MBX5R, hit me up in the comments. Let me know. I'd like to upgrade the shocks on it. There's a lot of upgrades on this buggy already, so I definitely want to get it back together and turn it into my go-to track buggy right there. So, but I will run the Hyper on the track. That's for dang sure. The only thing I can't do is do a light and flywheel or anything like that on the Hyper. You just can't do it because of this raised plate underneath where the motor mount attaches. Not sure why they did that instead of just using regular motor mounts, but whatever. I guess it was probably because they come with a pull start. That's probably why. RTR. But anyway, guys, Hyper 7 is the baddest RTR that they make as far as a buggy, in my opinion, anyway. So, alright guys, I think that's going to be about it. I am going to be working next few days. We'll try and get a video